Welcome to the Local Marketing Source Weekly Update, brought to you by localmarketingsource.com.
This week's Local Marketing Update is brought to you by Scott Gallagher. Scott is the co-founder of Local Marketing Source and has become the recognized expert in providing online marketing services to local businesses. Follow Scott on Twitter at ScottGallagher5 and on Facebook.com/ScottPGallagher.
Hey, well, good afternoon, everyone. Scott Gallagher here with Local Marketing Source, bringing you our weekly local marketing industry update. Now, next week's LMS call is going to be, my son's just popping over and saying it's going to be Wednesday. That's Wednesday the 5th. And, you know, right now I am up at our cottage still, Manitoulin Island in Canada. And so I apologize if there's going to be any blips or whatnot, but we don't have the weather like we had last week, but nonetheless, I'm just looking outside right now, and I was paddling around, and it was absolutely crystal clear glass on Lake Huron, the entire lake, but right now the waves are coming in about 3 feet. And it was funny, as I'm just sitting here, my son's actually sitting next to me and looking at me and smiling and laughing, and he's looking at the names of everybody that's popping on the line right now, and he goes, Nick Dale. He goes, like he knew that name. I said, yeah, that's one of our students from New Zealand. And he goes, I remember you were talking about Nick one time, and you said that Nick was becoming very successful. I said, wow, Ashton, that's some really good awareness. And, you know, that's something that I try to teach him of being aware of your environment at all times. And it's just like in business too, and being aware of where our clients are in terms of marketing. But, you know, having said that, we've got a few different things for updates this week. We're going to be talking about Google removing all non-verified local pages from Google+. Wow. Google testing sponsored local pack listings. This is huge. This is a big deal. It was just announced today. And then finally, Google is now alerting accounts that are getting deleted for violations of the terms of services. But before we get into some of that, wow, you guys did really good. My sister just showed up. And my niece just showed up, and I'm surprised the dogs didn't even bark. That's great. Anyhow, to get into some of this. Now, Google is testing sponsored home services in the snack packs. Now, this is the local listings. And when you get 7 different local listings, it's always been organic. What we're seeing now is testing of sponsored links. This appeared in San Francisco search yesterday. It was reported by Dr. Myers. And this is a big deal. It's going against what Google has always tried to be of being organic. This is frustrating. I'm not too sure how it's going to come out. We've got to take some other looks at it, but this is a potential game changer. So give me a moment as I move here. And I apologize for the unprofessionalness of this, but it's the way it is. Ashton, can you bring my charger into the other room? I am going to be doing quite a bit of research over the next couple of days in regards to this, because this is inevitably it's a concern. And what that means is businesses are going to be able to buy their way in. I haven't been able to give it a lot of thought because this was just recently reported today in regards to what it's all about. But it's absolutely a game changer. It's a potential game changer. Now, when we do sit there and think about that and consider it, it is something that does make some sense to it. And we hope that Google still provides a lot of exposure for those businesses that um, that do it right, that have got the right exposure in terms of reviews. And some of the things we're going to be talking about, for example, the accounts being deleted for the terms of service violations, is giving us further insight. I think it's feasible that both of these, it's not just a coincidence that they've come together this way. I believe that they're correlated. It essentially makes sense. You spend a little bit of money to get greater exposure. It's exactly what the yellow pages have always been. So there are some elements to it, and I believe with quality scores, especially what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks with Google AdWords and the integration of their reviews. Over the last 2 years, Google has been doing a lot of changes with reviews. I think this is indication that they're now starting to solidify where they stand, and specifically where they're going. Now, on that note, Google alerting accounts deleted for terms of service violations. And this is relatively new as well. In other words, you mess with Google, they're going to shut you down. And we as marketers know the terms of service in terms of utilizing Google Plus and their review systems and their back end. You can't dupe the system. Violating the terms of service is very easy to do with Google. Most SEO people violate the terms of service. If you have not read the terms of service, then you better get out and read it. How is it going to affect your business if you get a client account shut down because you violated the terms of service that Google has set out? They're also shutting you down and not telling you what the violation is. They just say you've got to go and fix it, and then you can recover the account. I have a feeling we're going to be talking about this a little bit more in the next couple of weeks, because there's going to be a few accounts that are shut down. People are going to go through the recovery process, and which is there's a link. Just you can do a Google search for recover account Google Plus if you run into it, and you'll find that link. Google does not allow email communication to get any of this stuff done, and it's through a form. There are SEO people that are reporting that this is happening to their accounts, and essentially it's likely just going to create a lot of extra work for you. So, fortunately, LMS students believe in the fact that SEO is just marketing, and hopefully most of you have not violated any of the terms, especially with review solicitation. I see that very often. And Yelp, we know, is shutting accounts down for review fraud and ousting people, publicly displaying them. There's going to be a lot to be said about that there. Now, along with accounts being deleted for a violation of terms of service. In other words, if you're doing anything that they say you shouldn't be doing, they shut you down. They're also shutting down local pages from Google Plus that are non-verified. It's possible that Google has gotten to a point to say, all right, we've hit a threshold. Whatever that threshold is, it might be 80%, it might be 70%. But they've hit a certain point where they feel comfortable enough that a good portion of local businesses have now verified their listing, that others are going to be shut out. They're becoming, today's call is making me feel like Google is as a bully recently. They are bullying these small businesses. And I'm not going to go on the record and say it, but this call is concerning to me in regards to paid listings. Of course, I'm happy to see accounts being deleted for terms of service violations, but removing non-verified local pages. Now, of course, all my clients and everyone we work with are verified, But in reality, of a business owner, the small businessman that just doesn't have the knowledge of it, frustration I have with Google is I've worked with all different types of business owners, from the plumbers and electricians to the transportation business owners to chiropractors. Chiropractors are very educated individuals. They get 8 years of education, give or take, before they can go to their business. And they get maybe 6 hours of business training, 220 hours of training on the body. So when a chiropractor starts their business, excuse me while I shut that door. When a chiropractor starts their business, they don't realize everything that goes involved with it. All the accounting, the marketing, the sales, the closing rates, the follow-ups, the front end staff, the training and the logistics that go into it, buying buildings, furnishing buildings, and the list goes on of all the things that a business owner does. And they just went to school to become a chiropractor. In the transportation world, it's very different people that I've worked with. They're typically, and with all due respect to them, much less educated than chiropractors. But it doesn't mean that they're any less capable or any less intelligent. My business partner with Naparex started delivering packages out, with his car. He now runs a $20 million company with over 200 drivers. There's quite a bit of logistics and learning that went in place while he started his business. Well, now in this new internet era, a lot of business owners that are above the age of my age, I would suspect, don't have a lot of interest and don't have a lot of understanding of Google Plus and claiming pages. And they're forced, if they want to be successful on the internet, to either pay Google and a professional to run that, and or pay a professional such as ourselves as marketers to get them listed organically. And I believe that Google doesn't get that. I mean, it's a far cry to say, but I believe that internally they just feel like that. I don't know if their marketing department is right in alignment with their management, that's right in alignment with their engineering and development department. That if they start removing non-verified pages, it's amazing how many businesses of the trades, for example, have these non-verified listings, and Google has traditionally still shown them without a lack of competition. And it's gonna throw a lot of business owners around, and I think around in the wrong way. So it's concerning. I didn't want to get into any additional. I mean, there wasn't anything else that happened in the last week that was all that important. But this is absolutely critical, in my opinion. And up here at camp today, I was building a wood shed. It's our third wood shed that we have here. The thing's going to be able to hold about 4 cords of wood. We've already got enough wood right now to last us 2 years, but that's my dad's the wood Nazi, and it'll make him happy. And when I was building it the last couple of days, I was thinking about how easy it was when I had the right tools. And if you're trying to move something from one place to another, there's the easy way and then there's the right way. And I've learned that the right way is extremely important when working with a variety of different tools and equipment, as opposed to thinking what the easy way really is. And marketing, I related to that very, very well, because it seems that internet marketers are probably some of the laziest people on the planet in regards to what they want to do. And I hear it all the time, this tool and that tool to do this and to do that. And those are shortcuts. If you haven't seen it yet and seen the evidence of all these changes that these companies are doing, there's no way to cheat. And if you cheat today, you're going to get caught in 6 months or a year. And at what cost? It's called opportunity costs, and how that impacts your business. We say that there's 3 ways to increase your agency or increase any business. And that's 1, get new customers. But that's the hardest way to grow a business. The number 2 way is to increase how much your customers spend with you. You could do that by raising your prices. I try to raise mine with my customers once every 1 to 2 years. You can get your customers to spend more by offering different services. Local marketing source students spend $100 a month to be a part of this membership. And then once they've built a business, they go on and spend $5,000 to $25,000 for a couple of weeks to talk with another professional. Smack me in the head. This has been my hobby business. But inevitably, we've had students that have been crying for different products. So we're going to increase our customer spend by offering a second level high-end product that's going to give one-on-one training, one-on-one discussions, and actually accountability and mapping out the entire sequence of building an agency from ground zero, every single marketing piece and every single sales piece, and walk you through and do sales calls with you. Of course, it's not going to be $100 a month. And then the third way is to increase your customer spend frequency. Can they spend more money more often? And we often forget about the other 2. Well, as an internet marketing agency owner, we're concerned for our clients of bringing in more customers for them the first way. What are you doing with those customers? Tell you, the chiropractors are not very smart business owners. Neither are plumbers nor electricians. They're not the brightest that are out there. It's your job as a marketing agency, as a marketer, to teach your clients the value of the 3 different ways to increase their business. You bring in new customers, you better have ways to market to these new prospects and customers on a regular basis to them. You're going to blow your customers away. You're going to increase your retention with them. It's extremely powerful. Well, thanks for watching the Local Marketing Industry Update. We've got these things coming out every single week. So if you liked with what you heard, just click the button right above me right here to subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to get a little bit more, right over here, go check out localmarketingsource.com. We've got free reports that you can grab. You can even register for a free marketing course to get in and see the portal. Or just go ahead and follow us on some of the social channels. We'll be around. Until next time.